It's a topic that we've been revisiting, advancing flexi work arrangements. So with us now to discuss labor laws and flexi work arrangement, as well as where we are heading, is Gillian Corodos, Divisional Director, Industrial Relations and Allied Services at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. In other words, she's our big thing. Morning, welcome. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Morning, Delia. How are you both?
We're good.
We are well.
I see you're surviving well
Give thanks.
in
Give
this
thanks.
new normal
Yeah, man, I hope you are well
presented by
also.
COVID-19.
Yeah, I hope you're well also.
Yes, thank you.
As far as you know, including your own ministry, is there flexi work arrangements going on?
Yes, there is flexi work arrangements going on in both the public sector and the private sector. For instance, in my own ministry, there are days that persons work remotely, and there is a staggered shift arrangement, and it is something that is encouraged, as you know, in the Disaster Risk Management Act. So the public sector and private sector are exercising the options of flexible work arrangements, and I want to say that it's a whole new world, and many persons are enjoying it, but there are drawbacks for some persons, as you would expect.
Okay.
What would some of those drawbacks be?
Well, in terms of the drawbacks, we find that we have persons who you would expect are going to be gung-ho about working remotely, for instance, parents. But some of the reports that have come to us include the challenges of having children home at the same time the work is supposed to happen. So the challenge of having online schooling and work from home has presented many constraints, and there are actually workers that are opting to go back into office rather than to work remotely. And I've even said that they will be working staggered shifts, flexible shifts. They'll work earlier in the morning and leave earlier in the afternoon, or later in the morning and leave later in the night. Something that reduces the numbers in the workplace at any one time.
Yeah. Flexi work arrangements would also suggest that you can work, say, 3 days, but longer hours. In other words, instead of you go 5 days, 8 hours or 9 hours a day, you go 3 days, you go 10 hours. That happens also?
It happens, but I want to caution that where flexible hours are to be engaged, both the worker and the employer should agree, because it is in effect a change to the original contract. It is an alteration to the original contract, and therefore flexible work arrangements should be agreed between both the worker and his or her employer or the worker representative.
Sorry to jump in, but why would it be a change? Because if my contract says I must work 40 hours, I work in 40 hours. I just don't do it over 5 days. So why is there a change there?
But most times the contracts would have stated the days that you work and would have stated what are your normal work hours. And in fact, these hours are changing.
Okay.
I'm glad Neville raised that, because sometimes when we say flexi work, we think hours. But there are different types. For example, you can do part-time work with benefits, eh?
Exactly. And I am happy you mentioned that, Delia, because even our own legislation in Jamaica, the Employment Flexible Work Arrangements Act, it really speaks about how you alter hours and the days of work. But it really doesn't relate to what we are doing right now, where we're looking at even rapid response teams. As employers recognize that we have to engage in different production lines. You might need a few workers quickly, and you can bring in a couple of persons. It doesn't speak to things like employee swap. For instance, if you are an organization with branches in several parishes, you might want to have a worker who lives in St. Catherine work in your St. Catherine branch, rather than to be commuting to Kingston every day. And that kind of employee swap can happen, especially where the position is similar and the compensation and other conditions are similar. And importantly, there's agreement between the worker and his or her employer.
Yeah. Is your ministry encouraging this?
Certainly. We're encouraging all the alternatives that are within the ambit of the law and that are forward-thinking, because as a country, Jamaica has to remain at the forefront of this change. COVID-19, I would say, is not all doom and gloom. It's a game changer. It has presented many opportunities amid the challenges.
Yeah, I think one of the things also is that for employers who may want to expand their business to the global market, to countries that operate on a different time zone, it gives you the flexibility of having staff work at different hours to match those clients that you may have.
Definitely, and I would want to comment that the global services sector that many persons call the BPO has been doing this successfully because they are virtually open 24 hours, 7 days per week. And I have seen firsthand some of the workers even working remotely from home. And you would never know that they're not working in what we're accustomed to as a place of work, that physical structure, but are working online from their own personal spaces.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that there is one drawback, as you said, mothers and fathers at home with the kids. Is there any other thing that you would come up with and say, well, maybe it not going to work because of this or because of that?
Well, what is happening now, and a lot of persons have been speaking about this, is that the guidelines in terms of how to implement flexible work arrangements are not very clear because, as I did indicate, at the time the Employment Flexible Work Arrangements Act was passed, we didn't premeditate this kind of pandemic. Actually, no country in the world thought about the impact of COVID-19. So yes, there are areas of, for strengthening, and definitely policy work needs to happen. The employment contracts have to be revisited. The staff manuals have to be revisited as well. And just the general work attitude, you know, being flexible in the mind, you know, to make flexible work arrangements successful.
You're doing a webinar?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, the Jamaica Productivity Center is doing a webinar, and that is looking at productivity. It's the World Productivity Day, and definitely we want to ensure that productive efficiency happens at the micro, small, medium, and large enterprises. And we want to just share information, share experiences, so that persons are well aware of the opportunities that present.
How you get to be a part of the webinar?
Well, definitely the Ministry of Labor's platform. If persons go on to our Facebook and all the social media handles, they will be able to join. We have media with us, and definitely will be on different stations.
And it's going to be free?
And it's going to be free.
All right.
The
Fantastic.
Ministry of Labor ensures that all its information is shared free of cost.
Thanks for coming. Stay safe. Good to see you.
Thank you. Same to you both.
All right, Jillian Corodas, Divisional Director, Industrial Relations and Allied Services at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Did you know that June is recognized as National Caribbean American Heritage Month? That's correct. Dr. Claire Nelson zooms in after this quick break to tell us some more.